Welcome to It's a Grand Life, where our mission is to be a voice for grand families and kinship caregivers everywhere. Did you know that in the United States alone, there are 2.3 million grandparents raising their grandchildren? 2.3 million. It's a Grand Life is committed to making a difference for those kids. That's why we have the podcast, a Facebook group, and the Grand Fund. The Grand Fund, which is a 501c3 which was launched in June of 2024, provides financial assistance to grand families, including shelter, food, clothing, and household needs. Grand families are in every neighborhood, in every city, every tribe, and territory nationwide. If this is you or someone you love, we're here for you, and we welcome you to join us on this mission. Our goal is to offer hope and resources to help you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review. You can also join our Facebook group. Just search for it under It's a Grand Life. And your reviews, comments, and sharing of our podcasts help us reach others that need assistance. Welcome to another episode of It's a Grand Life. Hello, my name is Craig Nash. We'd like to welcome you to another It's a Grand Life, and you're absolutely unequivocally going to be blessed today as we head into the holidays. We've got some festive stories to share, and It's a Grand Life started out as a podcast in January of 2023, and in August of last year, we became a not-for-profit because we wanted to tangibly help grandparents who needed assistance from now and then. One of our dear partners is Lisa Grodsky from OLHSA, Oakland Livingston Human Services Agency. Lisa, thanks so much for joining us today on It's a Grand Life. And you have put together a phenomenal group of folks who have been a blessing, I know, to OLHSA, but OLHSA has also been a blessing to them, right?
Yeah, thank you for having all of us today, Craig, and happy holiday season to you. Yes, OLSA has a grandparents raising grandchildren kinship care support and navigation program that we offer in 3 counties in southeastern Michigan, Oakland, Macomb, and Livingston counties. And occasionally our program team, we call ourselves the GRG team or Grandparents Raising Grandchildren team, we have conversations with the clients, and they have some practical unmet needs, things that I definitely take for granted.
Yep.
And today's episode will illustrate some of those things. So when the team and I have our meetings and we discuss some of the needs of our clients and we try to troubleshoot, first off, we try to find any resources that might exist, like furniture banks or food banks or whatever the situation might be, right? And if there isn't a program or a community group that offers the type of assistance that's needed, I ask for a little bit of skin in the game, so to speak. Sometimes, like in the past, we had some that needed to get estimates for things. And that was the case for one of the highlights today. I asked for some estimates, and then we review everything with It's a Grand Life. And we consider how we might use the grand funds that we have been blessed with for helping some of these unmet needs so that grand families can prosper and thrive in the best way they can.
And we just love being a part of that. And I know you've got your partner in crime, Diane Baldwin, is on the Zoom with us here today. And could you introduce all of the folks that are joining us? And let's take a little drive to Davison, right, to get to pick up a table. Let's hear about that.
All right. So first off, we have Diane Baldwin. She has been, she just celebrated her 1-year anniversary with Oakland Livingston Human Service
Wonderful.
Agency in our Health, Housing, and Nutrition division, where, grandparents raising grandchildren thrives. And we have 2 clients with us. We have Nika Williams, who we will get to in just a bit, and Trisha Riggins. And both ladies are raising relative children, and both of them had come to us with some needs, and Trisha's goes back several months. It was
Yes.
definitely in the summertime. I know it was warm out when she said she had moved and she needed a kitchen table.
Yeah.
And we had a busy summer with intergenerational events and other things. We've been short-staffed and all this stuff. So, but when she told me, Lisa, I really want a kitchen table for Thanksgiving, that really struck me. And I just thought, ever since she first asked me, her and her grand family have not been eating at a table. And
That's
they've been
right.
lounging around the house with their plates, wherever they may be, throughout, eating their meals. And I wanted to fix that. So
And that
we,
went on in the summer. She made that request in the summer, right? Wow.
Yes.
Thinking of Thanksgiving, that's prophetic.
Yes.
Yeah.
yep. I mean, sometimes these processes aren't exactly swift, right? And so we started shopping. I'd send her pictures of tables that I'd see on places like Facebook Marketplace and the free, you know, uh, I guess there's a platform where people have things that are just for free. And finally, uh, several weeks ago, I found a table. I basically found a few, and she picked one of them, and I started communicating with the seller. And the seller lived in Davison, Michigan, which is just north of Oakland County. And that's kind of where Diane comes in because I wasn't able to go get it. I didn't have a vehicle big enough to put
Right.
the uh, the table in, and so Diane volunteered to take a Sunday drive up to Davison to pick up the table from the seller and do that transaction and then drive it down to Trisha. So I'm going to ask Diane to kind of pick up the story from here, if you don't mind.
That'd be great.
Hey, this is Diane. So, I actually was going to do this by myself because I tend to have sort of overinflated belief in my Subaru Crosstrek. And at the very last minute, like the day before, I knew I had a truck, right? So I was going to my husband normally takes the truck. So I said to him, I got to do this thing for work. And he said, well, how are you going to get a table in the truck if you're by yourself? And I said, I don't know, it'll work. Well, anyway, he came along. And it's a good thing he did because that was a heavy table. And it took a while for the seller and her husband were there. Thankfully, it was a beautiful day. We didn't have to deal with rain or any kind of weather for that matter. But it took a while, right? So we drove up to Davison and we pick up this table, and between the four of us, we get all the chairs and the table and everything secured. And I wasn't going to batten it down. My husband's like, no, you have to make it secure. He knows those things. I'm glad he was there. And then we go all the way from Davison to Trisha's house, which was in Ferndale, maybe?
Yes, Ferndale.
Yes, it was quite a hike. So we get there, and so we had to put the table back together because we had to take some legs out to get it in the house. And yeah. I say we, it was my husband. I was there. I said, hello, I'm from OLHSA. I was friendly, but he was the one bringing in the table, getting it all set up in the kitchen. And that's it. And it was really easy when you think about it. I mean, obviously there was some physical manual, right, effort needed, but other than that, it was really easy. And the seller was so happy to know it was going to somebody who needed it. Yeah. So it was just a great story, right? It's a feel-good story all around.
And your husband is a saint, obviously. He's
not a saint. He's working on it. This is a good thing.
He was a beautiful person.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's hard to have a family meeting and eating place without a kitchen table, right? And and with Thanksgiving coming, that's just such a happy ending. So Tricia, are you happy to get the table in your house, and are the kids loving it?
Oh, the kids loving that. They able to do their homework. We able to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner at this table. This table has really been a blessing to us. We played some bingo Sunday. I mean, it's a big old table. I haven't put the middle piece in. I can't wait till Thanksgiving to put the middle piece in. And then I got 6 chairs.
Oh, that's wild.
And this is some strong. This is some heavy good. This table gonna last forever and ever.
That's so great.
Yes, I was so excited. And I really appreciate you guys. And I just waited patient. I knew I didn't have a table, but I waited on Lisa. She said she was gonna help me, and I got it just before Thanksgiving. Cause I cook a lot,
Yeah,
and
I believe that. Well,
yeah,
now you have 4 grandkids at home, right?
yes,
So
yes.
you're definitely cooking a lot, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
and they
so
can eat. They don't turn down nothing. But this table has really been a blessing us. I've been doing my Bible study here. I'm able, it's run nothing but love, Because when I didn't have a table, we were squatting around, sitting on the edge of the table in the living room. Now we back at the table.
well,
Back,
there's nothing like you need a table for a good Bible study. You got to have
yes,
people sitting around the table, and then when I lead my Bible study, we just do it in the family room. But it's nice around a table. You can see everybody and interact and what have you. But that is such a great story, and it's such a great Thanksgiving story as we
yes,
head into Thanksgiving. And so you've got a lot to be thankful for,
yes.
and
I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for the program I'm in. I'm thankful for Um, I can't think of her name that run the table out here, her and her husband. I'm thankful for you. I'm just thankful. You just don't know. You just don't know how this table has brought nothing but love in this family.
well, we're thankful for OLSA. They've got some amazing folks there.
Yes, yes, they has
Diane
been
and
there for
Lisa,
me.
and then Diane's husband. I mean, he's just a bonus,
Thank.
and just folks with big hearts that want to
Yes,
help folks in the community. So, Diane and Lisa, you guys continue to keep your focus on helping others, and that's why we love working with OLSA. And we have another story to share, do we not, Lisa?
We do. We are often asked for help with car repairs. Living in Michigan, we're the Motor City. We drive everywhere, right? We
Right.
don't exactly have public transportations like some other big cities do. And one of the things that grand families, the caregivers need to do is get children back and forth to school, and you know they need to make appointments for the children or for themselves. And so they're constantly on the go from
Yeah.
sun up to sundown, Craig.
Yeah.
And so Nika here, she was concerned about a car problem. And if Nika could come off of mute and share with us some of the things that your car was doing that led you to have a conversation with me about your vehicle.
So, I had recently had got my valve cover gasket replaced. Um, I had to do it because it's more expensive, but the guy that wasn't around, he wasn't around anymore to check his work. So I took it to a oil change place slash mechanic spot out in Macomb County, and they had told me that I needed a transfer case, the valve cover gasket redone, and oil pan. I think that was over 3,000 worth of work, and I'm like, I'm on a fixed income. I cannot afford that.
Right.
I'm paying for a warranty company. They let me down the first time. That's what led me to go to a side mechanic. Then they told me that the next time I have to get that repaired, that they would cover it. They lied. So they didn't cover none of the work, which is stated in my warranty that it's supposed to be covered, but they would not budge. So it led me to reach out to Lisa. I wasn't really sure if she could help me, but I was like, listen, let me just see what I can do. She requested 2 other estimates. So I went to 2 places in Pontiac, and they were a little bit cheaper than the first one, but still was kind of steep in price.
Right.
Only to find out the trusted company that Lisa recommended me to, that is not the case. So I was lied to. So that was a big disappointment. But I am very grateful that it wasn't the case, because I'm sure it would have been expensive at Jake's as well. But he said that wasn't the case. So that was a blessing, and I really appreciate Lisa, Craig, Nash. Y'all have been a blessing to my family, because That's my only transportation, and I do drive a lot.
Well,
So
Nika, we talked before we went on the air, and you are raising three kids, and
for
Tricia, four kids, excuse me, and Tricia's wearing four kids as well. And if you ladies don't have dependable transportation, life doesn't
right,
work. And we
no,
were
at all.
talking about all the sports events that these kids
No,
get
no.
involved in in fact, we're hoping that the hero of the story, Joe from Jake's Auto Repair, that he will join us so we can hear his side of this because he's really done an amazing job in getting the car back together. But Lisa, what was this like trying to find the right auto repair place? Knowing that there's a need for Nika to get reliable transportation to take care of these kids. How'd you make
Yes.
that happen?
Well, I could hear the concern and the frustration in Nika's voice when she approached me about this. A lot of our grandparents and other relative caregivers of children in kinship care, um, they need somebody to kind of bounce ideas off of,
Right.
right? And so our team at OLHSA Grandparents Raising Grandchildren uh, lend them that ear that they need. And it got my wheels spinning because she told me about that first estimate and it seemed elevated and inflated. And being a female, sometimes, we are taken advantage of when it comes
Right.
to mechanics and other things like that. And
Mhm.
that concerned me that she might have been being taken advantage. So I did ask her to go and get a few more estimates, and she indicated that they were places that offered free estimates, and I can't remember which one came first, the one for 1700 or the one for 1770, like $1,770. And then ultimately the last one she did get was for $2,375. And I just
Mhm.
thought, there's just something not right about this because she
Yep.
said the car was leaking oil and smoking a little bit or whatever. And she talked about that pan. And so I just asked her to humor me. Through the Grand Fund, we have sent other vehicle to Jake's Automotive in Auburn Hills, Michigan. And I just asked her, would you just go there and get an estimate? They do charge a small fee to get an estimate.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, they told me that they cleaned up the engine, that most of the smoke and the oil dripping was from a gas cap that
Oh,
either didn't fit right or wasn't on right or something. They didn't like it. They wanted to replace it. They degreased the whole engine and asked her to drive around for, what was it, Nika, 300 miles?
Two, 300 miles, 200 miles.
200 miles.
okay.
So after a week or so, how much time was it? About a week or two?
Yes, a week.
A week. She returned and they said, she was due for an oil change, but they didn't want to do the oil change before they really got to the root of the problem.
That makes
So,
sense.
so they said they felt confident that she was good to go, but really did need that oil change. And upon observation, they also noticed that she probably would benefit from a wheel rotation.
All
And
right.
this being ahead of the winter driving season, I went ahead and authorized those additional, maintenance for Nico's vehicle. So she should be all set at least through February.
That's awesome.
Yes, yes, yes.
You got to get the tires together before the snow hits if you're in Michigan.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
can slide everywhere. So, well, I hope our audience can just appreciate this is how It's a Grand Life works. We try and raise funds to help grand families. We partner with groups like OLSA, like Diane and Lisa. They're high quality groups. They love grandparents who are raising their grandkids, and they always bring to us the nicest folks to work with, as you can see from our example today with these two wonderful ladies. And so when you make a donation to It's a Grand Life, this is where it ends up. We go to Davison to get dining room tables, and we go to Auburn Hills to get cars repaired, but whatever it takes to just keep our grandparents moving. And Lisa and Diane, I take my hat off to you guys for the work you're doing. You're such a blessing. And And Nika and Tricia, we just hope you guys have the most phenomenal Thanksgiving and Christmas season, and hope you'll allow us to stay in touch with you from time to time and just let us know how things are going. But Lisa, do you have any final thoughts before we sign off today, or anything?
Well, your donors really need to be applauded for thinking out of the box. This is really a cause, kinship care. There's so many of them
Yeah,
that are outside of uh, foster care or not eligible for resources that some programs provide and offer. And
right,
it really, these caregivers and so many others have to make a lot of really tough decisions, like not spending money on a kitchen table.
right,
And we hear the benefit of having that table in the dining room today, the benefit of having the peace of mind that your car isn't going to
oh,
end up on the side of the road with the
That's
winter
it.
months coming. So we really do appreciate it. And it also allows
Yes, we do.
programs, and service providers of kinship care to have access when you know that it's a meaningful gesture to give a helping hand.
right.
We're not a giveaway program by all means. These ladies did whatever they could to try to find something. Because I know early on I said to Trisha, it's garage sale season in the summer. And
Right,
usually when people don't sell things, they will put it out at the curb on garbage day. I
right.
mean, just offering her some ideas of things to think about. But when all of those things didn't work out for her and Nika ahead of time, we could fall back on the Grand Fund and donating to the Grand Fund. These are some of the results, and they are really great stories. And you really can feel good about the money that is donated to the Grand Fund going to families that are making a difference, not only for their immediate family, but for society at large.
The nice thing, one of the nice benefits of this story is that, you didn't find the table immediately. You searched for it. You found the right table up in Davidson, and it really fit the situation. You didn't take the first estimate when Nika's car needed repair. She had three estimates. And there's just a lot of wisdom in that. So you're taking these donations, you're taking them very seriously, and you're trying to maximize the return for everybody. And that's why Oakland Livingston Human Services Agency is such a great partner of It's a Grand Life. And if you want to make a donation to a group making a difference in Oakland County, send it to OLHSA. They're doing great work. They've got a wonderful team over there. And I think I'm going to be at that office Friday morning for a not-for-profit meeting. But thank you all so much for joining us on It's a Grand Life. You've shared a
You're welcome.
great couple stories. And I mean, I'm ready for turkey now. I feel like it's Thanksgiving already. So thank you all so much. And we hope to see you all real soon. And for those of you at home, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us today for It's a Grand Life. It's a Grand Life provides vital content, regulatory updates, and subject matter experts that are committed to supporting the 2.4 million kids and their caregivers from every neighborhood, every city, every tribe and territory nationwide. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review. Every new subscriber and review helps us reach others that need assistance. As caregivers, we are united in purpose. We are driven by hope while providing strength for today and hope for tomorrow. We are truly making a difference while living the grand life. If you have a suggestion for a future episode, please reach out to us. But we'll see you next time for another It's a Grand Life. Thank you for joining us.